The safest place in the world is supposed to be your home. The people meant to protect you are supposed to be your family. For 25-year-old Samaira Nazir, both of those things became a lie on the same afternoon. She walked into her family home in London for a conversation. She never walked back out. Welcome to Fruit of Evils, the channel where we uncover the darkest stories hiding behind ordinary front doors. Today's story isn't about a stranger in the shadows. It's about what happens when the danger lives in your own house, shares your own blood, and calls itself family. This is the story of Samaira Nazir, a woman killed not for anything she did wrong, but for one thing she dared to want. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe, because silence is exactly what crimes like this depend on. Samaira Nazir was the success story of her family, the first among them to earn a university degree, a career woman, a recruitment consultant building an independent life in London. People who knew the family called her the brightest of them all. She wasn't a rebel. She wasn't running from anything. But she was in love with Salman Mohammed, a young man who had fled Afghanistan and sought asylum in the UK. Their relationship was serious. Samaira wanted to marry him, and that was the problem. Her family said no. Not just no, never. Salman came from a different caste, an invisible line he was never allowed to cross. Instead, they pushed her toward a suitor from Pakistan, a man she didn't choose and didn't want. The moment Samaira announced she would marry for love, prosecutors later said she had, in her family's eyes, signed her own death warrant. April 23, 2005. Samaira knew the conversation with her family would be explosive. So she and Salman tried to do it the smart way, a meeting with her mother somewhere neutral, away from the family home. Her mother refused. "Come home," she said. "We'll talk here." Waiting at that house were her brother, Azhar, her parents, and a 17-year-old cousin, Salman Mohammed, a teenager living secretly in an outbuilding on the property under a false identity after entering the UK illegally. Samaira walked in expecting an argument. The people inside had other intentions. The argument erupted almost instantly about her future, her marriage, her refusal to obey. At one point, according to court evidence, Samaira shouted at her mother, "You're not my mother anymore." What followed was described in court as a prolonged, frenzied attack. Her own brother and teenage cousin held her down. 4 knives, 18 stab wounds, 3 of them to her throat. And Samaira fought. She actually broke free. She made it toward the door, toward the street, toward anyone who could help. She was dragged back inside. I won't go further than that, because Samaira deserves better than to be remembered as a crime scene. But one detail tells you everything about what this really was. It happened in front of her 2 nieces, 2 little girls, aged 2 and 4. Here's where it gets even darker. After the murder, the family didn't fall apart with guilt. They coordinated. Police grew suspicious and made a bold move. They planted covert listening devices in the family's private conversations. What they heard confirmed everything. The family was aligning their stories, allegedly trying to pin the blame on the 17-year-old because a minor would get a lighter sentence. Even in death, they weren't protecting Samaira. They were protecting themselves. In 2006, her brother Samaira Nazir was sentenced to life, a minimum of 20 years. The cousin got a minimum of 10, but her father, also charged in the killing, never faced a jury. He fled to Pakistan while on bail and is believed to have died there before he could ever stand trial. The lead prosecutor, Nazir Afzal, refused to call this domestic violence. He called it organized crime, a murder collectively planned and deliberately carried out. People call cases like this honor killings. But there is no honor anywhere in this story. There's a young woman who did everything right and asked for one thing in return: the freedom to love who she chose. And there's a family that answered with knives. Samaira wasn't killed for bringing shame. She was killed for refusing to be controlled. She would be in her 40s today, living the life she chose, with the man she chose. Instead, her name is a warning of what happens when a family values reputation over a daughter's life. If this story moved you, share it. Subscribe to Fruit of Evils for more stories that deserve to be told, and told right. And remember, Samaira Nazir, not for how she died, for what she dared to want.